Welcome to the Cars and Cancer podcast. We're up to episode 5 now, and in this episode we mostly talk about cars for a change, and cancer takes a bit of a backward step, which is quite nice. Darren contemplates growing a tash, and we tried to start by recording on a different format, and it didn't go particularly well, so I start waffling on about that for a little bit, but then it gets a bit more interesting, hopefully. Enjoy. Yeah, I did try something a bit different. I just thought it would work a bit better, and but you have to pay money, and if we can do everything for free at the moment, then I'm quite happy to do that, and I'm sure you
Yeah,
do
definitely.
as well.
Yeah.
No,
It's too early on to start paying for stuff, isn't it?
yeah, exactly, exactly. Wait for the big time, and then
Yeah. When money's no object, is that what it is?
yeah.
When there's a ready 30 sitting on my drive aid, we can start investing in things then, can't we?
Okay. Are you in charge of finances then, are you, Andy? Are you going to be the banker?
I'll be the banker, yeah.
Yeah, I did say banker. Yeah.
Yeah, well, just double check. I'll have to re-listen to it to make sure you didn't say anything else.
Yeah, so gents, we're up to episode 5. I'll give you a quick update on where we are. I realise when I give you the views or the listens, it's only the YouTube I give you. But last week we were at 57.
Yeah.
We're now up to 71. So we've had another 14 listens over the 4 episodes. It's not groundbreaking, is it? Let's be honest, but I'm still enjoying doing it, and hopefully people that are
definitely
enjoying it.
Do you reckon we'll get to 100 by Christmas?
Oh, I feel like we could play some sort of sad, somber music now and sort of go, just 29 more likes or listens.
Yeah.
Can give Andy the Christmas that he's always wanted.
We'll have to go out for a nice Christmas meal, won't we, and celebrate getting 100.
Yeah, get 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we're at 71. We've had another subscription, so we're up to 4 now.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
4 people get notified when this crap comes out. Yeah.
Right. That's it.
Yeah, it'll do.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. Yeah.
So that's where we are with the stats, and obviously it goes on Anchor, which is a podcast site, and it goes on to Spotify.
Yeah.
I got a nice email from Anchor, which I sent you the screenshot of. To say you've had 10 plays.
Yeah.
So I mean, this really is big time now.
Really. Double figures, eh? Yeah.
Milky bars are on me. It's
that's it, mate.
I don't know how to check the Spotify figures yet. It's something to do with my account, but if I can find out, I shall let you know. I suppose we talked a bit about our health last week, and we talked about Santa's Volvo, or his Hyundai, or whatever you said, Darren, or his Kia. And Andy, you mentioned you've been doing a bit of work on your car. Have you managed to do any more on that?
I've managed to get the front slam panel to fit. It'd take a bit of playing with, but it fits just roughly, so I can start playing with the bottom bit to make it stronger. Okay. So that was something big on my list.
Rust?
Yeah, there's loads of rust on the front. Yeah, it was a Nova, isn't it? So. Yeah, it's got 2 channels, one on the left and one on the right, that go right underneath the front.
Yeah.
They've started going rusty, but nothing I can't clean out, and put some 3M car under seal on it and put a bit of blue Amorite paint on it.
Yeah.
And then when I have the front bit put on, I'll get it sent away to the person who does my spraying, and he'll spray it all the same colour as the car then. So
is that the front panel that your VIN plate goes on and all that kind of thing, or are we talking the lower panel where you like the skirt, if you like?
Do you know the picture I took? So you take the front bumper off.
Yeah.
It's the bottom bit that goes on the Mark II. On the Mark 1s, you can see them underneath.
Yeah.
And they always go rusty. But on the Mark 2s, they're covered by a bumper.
Yeah.
So, I mean, ever since I've had it, I've always just noticed it's going rusty along that bit. So, over all the years, I decided I need to get it done. So, I bought myself a welder and been practicing doing my welding. So, should be able to make that work, I think.
Nice one.
Yeah. Strengthen it up.
Oh, you sound well. You sound quite
Yes.
Being upbeat.
Well, I went for my bloods today for my next round of chemo, which should be on Wednesday. So this is my good week, I think.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. You're so very well, mate. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just getting ready for my next session of it.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's another session at home then, take the tabs and all that kind of thing?
Yes, yeah. Apparently, depending on what my doctor says on Wednesday, they're going to ship the pills out to me, and then I can probably start on Thursday or Friday.
Wow, it's bizarre, isn't it, really, just to send them in the post?
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it is, isn't it? Yeah.
So, yeah, that's me sorted. As long as my blood cells are okay,
Yeah.
I should be on chemo Thursday, I think.
So this time next
Right.
week, you'll sound like utter crap then, but for the moment, you sound all right.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Thanks for sharing the journey with us. Though it's not it's I think it's quite good for people just to learn a bit about your experience. I mean, it's new for me, and it probably is for Darren as well to know
Oh,
that
yeah, definitely.
this is a completely different sort of chemo that I'm aware of. So you know, it's how things have evolved, I suppose, isn't it? If you can put it in tablet form and you don't have to drag people into the hospital and stuff and taking up bed. No disrespect, but taking up beds and space. It's I suppose it can be a good thing, and fair play to you.
One person to have that done. It's a friend of mine in the last sort of 6 months, and he was the same. He just used to have like tablets, but he didn't have them actually back at home. He actually went up to the hospital, and then he had them there, and they did some other bits and bobs while he was there. But he was just in there for like an hour, you know. So that was a different one again. I don't know whether he had anything else as well as, and then he was just given the tablets to take when he actually came away from the hospital, which you would have. So there's all different ways of administering it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mine works. So we worked out because when I first started taking them, I was taking them in the morning, and I was feeling ill all day. But now I take them at night, so half of the time I'm asleep when I feel ill.
Right.
But it's not in the day. So that's how we found it helped me out. Half helped me out because I'll be asleep when I'm on it. So it normally makes that better rather than being awake and not being able to go to sleep and that sort of stuff. I keep in the same routine then of going to bed at 10 and having my anti-sickness an hour before, then I take them.
Yeah, it's like sorting your own pattern out, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Catherine, my nurse, said, well, it all depends how it affects you, and if it affects you in certain ways, do the way how you want to do it. So decided that was the right way for me to do it, and stuck with it.
Yeah, because I mean, sleep deprivation on its own can make you feel absolute crap, can't it? Whether you've got anything wrong with you or not.
Yeah.
You know, so combine it with the two, it's a really bad mix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lack of sleep, and you get pretty exhausted anyway.
Yeah. So no, it seems to work. It's worked out okay so far. So it should work this time. Taking them at night.
Yeah, great stuff. Hopefully it will do, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, if you'd had any reactions, you would have noticed that after the first round, really, wouldn't you?
I would have thought so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well done.
This is. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Any tinkering for yourself, Darren? Been in that wonderful garage of yours?
No, I've been in the garage, but I haven't done anything to scratch my car. I just give it a run around the block again, just sort of get it warmed up, let everything get, just keep sort of going until I'm sort of out and about using it.
Yeah.
Because the really sort of short days don't help, do they? You get back and it's going dark. I'm having to finish when I'm out at work. I'm finishing early because I've got to get back and put all my stuff away and get it all gone. By the time I get back up to where my little unit is now, this one in Stafford, even if you finish at 3:30 sort of time, by the time you pack up and get up there, it's going dark and you're putting everything away in the bloody darkness, like under a fog light, a big spotlight that's up there. And when you get back, it's kind of too late to go out and do anything after time outside. And I haven't started anything yet. I've got some 2 or 3 like mechanical type jobs I need to get done on it over the winter, but I didn't really want to start them until I'm definitely not going to be taking it out, for a couple of months, really.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to end up thinking, it's a nice day today, and I'm took that to bits, and I can't get out with it.
Yeah, I mean the temperature's going to drop dramatically this week, isn't it? I've seen the
So I heard, yeah.
Be on Thursday, they said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snow potentially coming our way, so that'll be entertaining.
Right.
So this is
Yeah.
probably well, it's certainly for me. It'll be the last I'll be doing until the new
Yeah.
year, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I managed to do a little bit on the car on the Friday. I had
Yeah,
the
you said you were going to do some bits.
Yeah, I had a tinker on Friday afternoon. My mate came round and we welded in the rear suspension brace that you get on the four-wheel drive Mondeos.
Yeah.
He welded that
Right.
in for me, and I just want to tidy up the welds now. You know, grind them down, smooth it out, put a bit of seam sealer
Yeah.
on, and paint it up, and then I can sort of get that all sort of protected for over the winter. Because if a car's sitting there over the winter outside, it gathers moisture and all that kind of stuff. So
Exactly, mate. Yeah.
I want to get that tidied up. So, but it's not
Yeah.
looking like I'm going to get that much of a chance of that. So, but no, it's nice to get that done, because with that done, I can then put the interior back in. He's going to retrim the roof headliner as well for me.
Oh, great.
So yeah, so the inside of the car will be pretty much good to go. So I'm quite pleased with that.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we get some nice weather early next year, I'll be out there on the drive. You know, because I haven't got a garage. I don't know if I've mentioned that. I might have mentioned that.
You might have done, mate.
Yeah.
Once or twice in the past, yeah.
Yeah. I just thought I'd let you know anyway, just to squash them rumours. But yeah, so I'll get those bits and bobs put back on, and hopefully get it rolling, and yeah, I just want to drive it now. I just want to drive it. I just want to get it sorted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get there. We'll get there soon.
Yeah. One of my brothers, he finally found the Triumph Stag that he's been after.
Oh, is this the one down in Devon or Cornwall, was it?
No, that one fell through actually. The bloke took it off. I don't know whether someone had gone down there and just offered him some money, and he just took it straight offline, and that's it. That one disappeared.
Yeah.
Another one fell through. He saw it. He was going to go and have a look at. Someone else turned up and just give him the asking price. So that one went. And he finally found one down south near Essex Way, and he wanted me to take him down there on Monday. But I said to him I wouldn't be able to go because I was at the dentist. This was like last week, and I couldn't put it off because it had been cancelled twice, and it's a case of having it sort of x-rayed and checked because of this problem you can get with your bones after radiotherapy. So I didn't want to miss it, you see.
Yeah.
So he asked one of my other brothers if he could manage to do it, and he took him down there. So he went down, and I haven't actually seen it yet, but he's absolutely made up with it apparently. When I spoke to him, I've just got to get around there and have a look at it now.
Is it a runner? Is it a project?
It's a runner. He said to the bloke, it's the V8 version, not the straight. So he said to the chap, he'll be coming from the Midlands, so it's a good run. He said, well, I need to trailer it back, So he said, oh no, he said it'd do that easy. He messaged me. He said got back absolutely brilliantly. He said we come back. He said I even managed to keep up with my brother, and he's a bit of a driver anyway. So yeah, he said straight back, no stops, went absolutely great.
Cracking.
Any ideas of the colour?
It's blue. Not the really. They did two. They did like a light sort of sky blue colour.
Yeah. And
a very dark one. It's just the lighter one out of the two. So it looks on the photo anyway. But I've not seen it in person yet. So I was hoping to get up there maybe tomorrow or one day this week for definite. I'm going to be local now, working in Stafford tomorrow, so all being well, I'll be able to nip up and have a bit of a nose at it, like.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm having a nose on a certain search engine now. Did you say the dark blue or the lighter one?
It's the lighter one, I think, Aid. The photo, because sometimes when they send you they copy the photo and send it. The colours, it depends where it's been taken, doesn't it?
Mm.
It looks like the lighter one though, because I think the other one's almost like, it's really dark, isn't it? All very, very deep colour. The other one is the lighter one in there. The convertible type as well.
Nice.
So it was quite a nice motor actually, from what you said, showed me on the picture.
Well, the fact he's been able to do that sort of mileage is
well, that speaks volumes, doesn't it? Really, it comes straight back. He said never missed a beat. Absolutely, went absolutely great.
I didn't even know they did hard tops in the Stag.
Yeah,
I've seen a few.
yeah, you can get the hard top in there. I think a lot of the ones. I think perhaps in the hard top tend to be the ones with a straight engine. Right, I think all the V8s pretty much were.
Mm.
And nice motors. We looked at 2 or 3 of them at the NEC, and they are a nice car because he didn't know what to have. So he had MX-5 before, and he weren't sure what to go for. He wanted something just that little bit bigger when he went on the trips. He was just. I think it's just an age thing. I think he was finding a little sports car a little bit harder than what he started to want a bit more comfort.
But he's a brave man as well, though, isn't he? Because he's, you're talking a car from the 70s rather than a car
Yeah,
from the 90s and 2000s and whatever. It's a bit of a step back.
yeah.
And you
Yeah. I think it's either 76 or 77.
Yeah.
The car is, so it's it's getting on a few years now. And just straight back on the motorway and come back there, yeah. So.
I was going to say, I was born the same year, Darren, so careful, mate. I'm not all that old. But, that's nice. That'll be nice to get an update on that then and see what it's like.
Yeah, when I do, I'll hopefully by the time we get back on the air next week, I will have been to see it and I'll get a couple of pictures, send some pictures over.
So that'd be good.
Yeah, nice what I've seen.
I was thinking a bit last week because we ramble on about cars and cars that we've got and friends have got and stuff, and I was just wondering if there was a way we could so people could see progress that we do on the cars. If you know what I mean. So you could sort of go, so this week Andy's done this on his car. Andy could upload some photos, do a little bit, a write up about it, and just people see us progressing. And I just didn't know if that would be something that people would like or people would be interested in. And then it would be something that you guys could add. We could set it up so you guys can access it as well. And if one day, Darren, you I don't know, you polish your big end or something. But you could put what you do in your own time is your business. But yeah, I mean, if you do something like that and you want to put an update, we could put a couple of pictures on there, and you could do a bit of an update, and we could just have like a sort of I don't know.
Yeah, sounds a good idea, that.
Yeah. I don't know what we would use, or I don't know if we would do like a Facebook page or do like a blog where we put the link on and then people can click on it and just so people can see our cars and what we're waffling on about and what we're doing and that kind of stuff. But yeah, maybe something we can have a chat offline. But just thinking that might be a bit of interest for certain people listening.
Yeah, sounds good. Does it?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had an idea which I put to you, gents, quite late this evening.
Yeah.
I was having one of those days this afternoon where I felt a bit low and I was missing my dad, and I thought, when I feel like that, I need to cheer myself up, and I just started thinking about some of the cars that he had, my dad had some really cool cars, which that sort of made me smile, and sadly I can't find many photos or any photos of some of them, but I've got these wonderful memories, and it reminded me of that Top Gear episode. I don't know if you guys have seen it, where the chaps talk about the cars that their dad had. Clark talks about his dad having a Cortina, and I think James May's dad has a Cortina, and Hammond has an Allegro or something shocking like that. And I just thought, are there any sort of cars that you fondly think of if you think of your mom or dad having, or is it certain cars that you just think, oh, that was nice, that was special, or even if it isn't special, you got good memories of?
Yeah, I got absolutely loads, really, because my dad, he was quite funny with his cars, because when he first changed the car, it was absolutely brilliant, the best car that he'd ever had, and kind of like it would go on for a year or 2 years, and then when it had little things that would go wrong with it, then bloody car, I'm getting sick of this time on there. I always remember being in the kitchen one day, I come to her and she said, I think we've got another car coming. She says to him, just go and really fix it. He said, nah, there's too many things wrong with it now. So, next thing you know, he's going to buy another car. And this happened every couple of years. So you can imagine how many cars that he's had. It's absolutely crackers, some of them were,
Yeah. Go on then.
Absolutely brilliant one.
What are the top three then? What are the ones that you really think of and you go, oh, that's a great car, or a car that you wish you had now, kind of thing? Are you still there?
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
you
we're
broke
still
up a
here.
bit
Can
then.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would say. Oh, let me think now. One of his oldest. A Vauxhall PA Cresta.
Right.
Yeah,
Do you know what them? Do you know what them are?
yeah,
Is it a big car?
American style looking car with big pointed things on the back of it, and
yeah.
it was a real. The roof lining was like in the. It used to sort of like a big S on it both ends, really. A typical American style car.
Oh
And
yeah.
he turned up with this, and it's full of chrome bits on it and everything pointed and what have you on there. That was absolutely brilliant car. That was from the old one we had. That be a lovely car to have now. But he
Yeah.
did have a
Yeah. It does
a
look.
lot
It looks
more
very
to it, really.
American, doesn't it? Very American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It definitely. I don't know what American car they took it from,
Yeah.
but it was definitely 100% American design. There was nothing like it in there. Well, when we had that, I would probably be about 10, I should think, 10 or 11. And when he suddenly turned up in this as a kid, it was like, wow, look at that! It was like nothing you'd ever seen before, And yeah, that was great. That was, yeah, absolutely brilliant car.
What color? What
But
color was it?
it was. It
Was it a
was
two
a
tone? Looks like
blue.
a lot of
It was
two
two
tone.
tone. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did a lot of them. They used to have like a big chrome strip that went down the side, and you quite often get one. They did really like a blue and the cream, like
Yeah.
brown and green, all sorts of greens, and they always sort of split the colours. One my dad had was blue. It was light blue. I remember it right, light blue on the top, and then I got the white round
Mm.
the bottom side of it. But lovely, absolutely busting car.
Yeah. It looks
Yeah,
a bit like
yeah, especially
is
for
it a
the young kid.
Chevy Bel Air, something like that? It looks a bit like
Yeah,
it.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it had the really big pointed sort of triangle backlights that come up and the big thin at the back end of it and
Yeah.
right the back window. But the back window was kind of like just in a big S shape. It sort of went in and then come back out again in the frame. And the glass sort of went all the way round,
Mm.
right down to the back. Oh, it's a cracking looking thing. If you ever get one up and have a look at it, you'll see the shape I mean, because the front of the windscreen, the actual roof lining is the same as the back, if you like. It's just like a big S curve on the front and the back. Typical American thing. Oh, it's just huge. But yeah, smashing motor. Yeah.
Mm.
I had a couple up at the NEC actually, went to the Classic Car Show. And you don't see many of them now, but yeah, stunning thing.
Very
But he
nice.
did have a lot of faults really. Years
Yeah.
later, he had like the Zephyrs, Mark 1, Mark 2, the
Yeah.
Zodiacs. The Zodiac was probably one of my favourites as well. That was a great big twin headlight thing, and it was the complete opposite to that. It was just like a big square box, the whole car, and the bonnet was just absolutely huge on it.
Well, we've got different marks here. We've got a Mark 3, a Mark 4. I can see here, which are more like the sort of the boxy shapes.
Yeah,
Is that the one we're
and
talking now?
Zephyrs, they did the Mark. I think it was on the
That was a
Mark 2.
5.
There was a small one, and the Zodiac had the big twin headlights on it.
Hmm.
Yeah, but cracking the things they were.
Yeah, the Mark 4, Mark 5 looks like something out the Sweeney. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
yeah.
they kind of led on to the Granadas, I think. I think
They
that's
do,
where the
yeah.
Granada
Yeah, I
sort
think
of
you're
like
right. Yeah, definitely.
superseded, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some of the cars he had, all sorts of. There's just so many. I could talk all night about the cars that he's had because
Am I going to
they're
have to
so
cut him off,
vivid.
Andy?
I can imagine the one with the best storyline to it.
Yeah.
It was a yellow Cortina, the GT, a
Oh,
black
yeah.
vinyl roof that had the twin headlights on it as well.
Would that be a Mark 2 then, would
Yeah,
it?
he had that. Sorry.
Would that be a Mark 2 then? No, no. Um,
Um,
oh, it could be the boxy shape, squared shape with the round lights.
yeah, it was quite boxy, really. Yeah, yeah. It wasn't the mark on the big roundy one, and it was in yellow, bright yellow, with a black vinyl roof, and it was like the GT, so it was like the sports version in its day. That was absolutely cracking motor. That one was. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
But then,
I think I can see that. Yeah, I think it's a Mark III. Yeah, they're definite Sweeney cars. They are.
yeah, they aren't they? Yeah,
Yeah, I can see
yeah.
John Thor in one of those. Yeah,
Oh, definitely.
shat
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, I can see it now.
yeah. Oh, Todd Carter, follow him along. Yeah. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, because that's a good thing about it, really. If you ever go on some of the old programs now, and like on some of these channels, and you watch old episodes of them all with the Sweeney and that type of stuff,
Yeah,
you do see all them cards, and most of the cards in them programs, what my dad had somewhere along the line, even if it'd only be for a short time. He's had so many, and there's so many memories with them. Because my mum never drove,
yeah.
so she never had a car herself. The only memories with my mum, I would say, would be the main one. He used to have a Hillman Super Minx, I think it was called, and it was a state with a split door at the back. So you lifted the top piece up, and the bottom used to fold down. And we used to go weekends, like day trips down to the coast, and it'd be my mum with a little stove on the back on this little sit down thing. And we got photos of them. Yeah, so I've got quite a lot of photos when we were kids with some of the older ones, but I haven't got any photos of the later ones that he had. But that's probably the best memory of the one what I relate to my mum in. We're going out in the room, you'd be doing all the cooking right on the back of it, like your tins of beans in the little gas burner. That's it. No McDonald's in them days, mate. Burgers.
No, definitely.
No, it's all.
That's nice.
No.
That's
So
good.
yeah, they were great ones. They were, but so many, Aid. Really, he wasn't someone that kept a car much more than 2 years, if you're lucky, and then it changed.
What about you, Andy? You got any fond memories?
Yeah, I've got my top 3 cars that my dad had.
Okay, in at number 3.
And at number 3 was a Granada, a gold Granada.
Beauty.
Oh yeah,
Because I'm one of 3 brothers, I was used to have to sit in the middle, didn't I?
You were the little one then. Yep.
Yeah. So when you start, arguing with your brothers, as I normally did, Mum used to get the wooden spoon out and start thrashing it around, and I used to sit there, and I always used to get battered by this wooden spoon. But it's like a thing now. Like I don't like wooden spoons. I'm like, you bloody, I don't like wooden spoons because yours used to smack me with them, didn't you, Mum?
scarred for life, mate.
I bought her one to go in a thing on the side in the front room, a little wooden spoon that says to you.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much. So yeah, there was that one, and he had he had a Carlton, a Champagne Carlton. That was an automatic. He had one of those. We had that for a little bit.
Yeah. That'd be
And then
it'd be a Diplomat or something like that, or a GLX. I think
they're just massive cars, weren't they?
Yeah, your dad liked big cars, didn't he?
Yeah, but then as I was going into Edgemont School before I went to the Burton Borough, he had a white Golf GTI Mark II, 4-door one. Yeah. So he pretty much likes all sort of things. So that one because he built his own garage on our old drive, and we went to pick some wood in it one day, and the wood was longer than the car. So he strapped it in the car, tied it all down, had the boot open. We went down the road and met another car, and this one piece of wood went straight for the front windscreen. Oh, what am I going to tell Mum now? Wood hanging out the front. But and I think as he's gotten older, he's not really kept up with his cars. No, he's just gone for Golfs and things like that. He had an Audi TT, 5 years ago, but he's got a Transit Connect van, so that does him, and he's looking for a pickup now. So yeah, I mean, it's that GTI. That was a nice car. That was.
Yeah, he's gone practical. He's gone sensible.
So he had that, and he's stuck with Golfs. Mum's stuck with Golfs now for years. So yeah, they're my top 3.
Your top 3.
Yeah, I'd love a Carlton GSI 3000. They're unbelievable machines. Those are. Try and find a decent one. It's hard work.
Yeah, V6.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
I'm sure they're rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, I would be surprised.
Yeah, I think they
It's a
are.
straight engine, so yeah,
Yeah,
every possibility, definitely.
Yeah. My dad did have one. He had a Colton, and then later on he had the Senator,
yeah,
Yeah,
and that was automatic. What a cruiser that was! It had the overdrive on it and the sports mode in it. Even then, it was a pretty cracking motor. Yeah,
yeah.
really nice.
The police were big fans of the Senators, weren't they?
Yes, there were. Yeah, yeah,
The police Senators, yeah, they were beast cars. I remember my dad looking at one point of buying a ex-police car because
yeah,
I don't know how true it is, but people always said that if you're going to buy an old car with high miles, buy an ex-police car because they've all been well looked after and stuff.
yeah,
I always thought they'd been
yeah,
thrashed to death, but I was told that that was a good thing to do. So yeah,
yeah,
nice wallowy boats, cruisers, that kind of thing. Nice motors.
yeah. Oh, there were. Yeah,
I've got
yeah,
5 cars written down here. I had to think. I'd got 5. So his most recent one was his his Discovery. He always wanted a disco.
yeah,
yeah,
So he got himself a nice fancy disco. That was his last car. But going back, he had a Mark II Escort Harrier.
yes,
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
it was
nice.
silver with the blue stripes on the side,
yeah,
with the Sabutio goals for the headset, and the
yeah.
headrests.
That's it.
Yeah, so he had that. I mean, oh my God, those things are worth an absolute
Oh
fortune
yeah,
now.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
Absolutely ridiculous money. I think you're
yeah,
talking 40 grand or 50 grand for a Minter. So yeah, but 20, 30 years ago, you could buy them out of Auto Trader for 500 quid, couldn't you? It's incredible.
that's right. Yeah, just a daily runner, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he had a Mark II Escort Harrier. He had a Mark II. It'd be the Mark II, so that Cavalier SRI Saloon.
oh yes,
Yeah,
nice.
it wasn't the 130. It was a
Yeah,
1.8, which is a really rare SRI. But the one thing that bugged me was when he bought it, he'd got aftermarket wheel trims on it. So he didn't have the alloys, it had the aftermarket wheel trims. And I kept
Right.
badgering him to buy the Vauxhall wheel trims, the ones with the little,
yeah,
the,
Yeah.
is it the Griffin on the Vauxhall side, the red Griffin on? I was saying,
yeah.
come on, get those, Dad. And he never bought them. And we just ended up with these aftermarket wheel trims. So it just kind of let it down a bit. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. But I let him off because it
Nice
was a,
cars, those R8. Nice
yeah,
car. Yeah,
yeah, my dad always seemed to like the last of the line. If he was going to buy a car, it was always the last of that mark, if you like. And his
yeah.
argument was that,
Yeah.
well, if there was been any problems, they
That's
would have
all.
been ironed out by the end of the
Yeah,
production. So they'll put all the best bits on the end. I don't know how true that is, but it sounded logical. So
Yeah.
that was quite
I've
good.
heard that one before, Aid.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Not just my dad then. That's cool.
no,
He also had a Mark IV Cortina Crusader.
yeah,
So little red and black pinstripes down the side, wood trim at the top of the doors.
yeah,
And that was in silver. That was a great. That was a towing car. That could tow the caravan. That was
yeah,
yeah. I did like the Cortina. That was a nice motor. But my favourite one was the Manta. He had a Manta GTE, and
yeah.
he bought it because of me. So his company car was a It was an Astra Merit, and I
Yeah,
think it was
Yes. I know.
really crap. The absolute bottom of the range. I think it's probably a Mark II, and they took his company car back, and then he wanted to get a car, and he says, right, I'm going to get something a bit nice. And do you remember getting Auto Trader on a Thursday?
oh yeah.
Yes.
The quick.
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd get the Auto Trader, go straight to the sports section or straight to the
Yeah.
bargain pages, and I'd go
Was it?
through.
Oh, was it orange? Aid, the sports one.
What, the Manta?
No, when you look for sports cars in the auto trade, was it was it orange?
Oh God, I'm thinking even before that, Andy. I thinking
Oh,
even when there was no color on it, it was just like the cover was the color, and then everything else was black and white. Um, the more recent versions, I think they did have color sections, didn't they? Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I'm showing my age now. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and I
Definitely
kept
showing your age there, mate.
yeah. Cheers, Darren. Thanks for that, mate.
You're
Um,
welcome.
and I remember going to the sports section, and I'd always go straight for the Mantas because it was like it was my dream car. And I spotted this white one, and I saw the phone number, and I went on. I must have worked out somehow that it was a Warsaw number, so it's not far away. Dad, let's get a Manta. And he was like, no, well, we've got 4 people in the family. We can't have a 2-door car. That's just not practical. Oh, Dad, can we just go and have a look? And he was like, no, no, no. But I could see he'd kind of, I'd sort of lit the blue touch paper, if you like. So we went and had a look. He went and had a look, and it was spotless. It really was nice, and drove around in it. And obviously, I'm just like absolutely smitten. And then my dad said, "Okay, I'm going to need a bit of time to think about it." And then we just walked away. And I was like, "No, somebody else is going to buy this. You got to buy this. You got to buy this." And I remember it felt like weeks and weeks, but it was probably only a couple of days before we went back and we had another test drive in it, and then we eventually bought it. And so yeah, he bought this Manta GTE coupe. Oh, that was brilliant, absolutely lovely. And the best thing was that when he came to sell it, I was 16, and I said to my dad, "I want to buy your car." And he says, "You can't afford it. You're 16. You haven't got a job. You're still at school. You can't afford it." And what he did was he took out a loan for me. So he kind of bought the car again, if you like, but then I paid off the loan. So I paid back a bit every month. So I got myself a job at Tesco.
Yeah.
And for 2 years, I couldn't drive it. I could only start it up and I could wash it. And it just sat on the drive for 2 years. And while I was paying for it, and I got a year's no claims under my belt. And then I rang up the insurance company, got a great quote for it. And then, and then it was my car. It was my car.
Oh yeah.
So after a year of driving, I'd gone from a Mini to that god awful Nova, and then I was in a 2-litre Manta GTE. It was just
nice motor.
Yeah, so that was my fondest memory was Roxy the Manta. That was
Roxy.
Roxy, yeah. The number plate was ROX Roxy.
There you go then.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just the great memories I've got of that one. Is just if it wasn't for me badgering him, he wouldn't have bought it, and he would have bought something else. No, that's cool. So if you could have any one of those cars now, gents, if I said right, you could have any one of those cars, which ones would you have?
I think I'd go for the Cortina, the GT.
Yeah, I think you'd look good in one of those, Darren. I think it would suit
Cheers,
you.
mate.
Yeah.
Would I need to grow one of those long moustaches, like, do you think?
Oh, yeah, a bit like a handlebar, the one that sort of droops down.
Yeah, that's it. It's sort of the bushy thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe sort of open your shirt a bit, a little bit of chest hair coming out, maybe a bit of a medallion.
Yeah. I don't think the medallion.
No?
I don't think that wouldn't suit the car. No.
Gold chain?
I don't think it's not a Capri,
Okay.
No. It's a bit more refined than actually being a GT, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. All right. Okay. Would you drive it erratically and sort of like many car chases and do things like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, you've got to do a bit of that, ain't you?
Yeah, but it's not a Capri though. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So Darren's hooting around in his Cortina. Okay, what are you going to catch him up with then, Andy? Oh, I reckon you'll go for the Mark II Golf, won't you?
I'll go for the Mark II. I like my hot hatches, don't I?
You do.
Yeah. I mean, looking back on memories, I don't know. Maybe I might like the Carlton, but I like me hot hatches, so I'll probably go for the white GTI, I think.
The white GTI.
Yeah.
Fair enough, that's okay.
But no, I wouldn't drive that like I got a Capri. It'd just be, tinkering around the blocking.
Yeah. Well, you'd strip it down and you'd rebuild it and you'd rebuild the engine and suspension and brake system. Yeah,
I like doing stuff like that, Aid. It's good fun. Learn your stuff.
Yeah. It does. That's very true. It does. I think that's it. I actually have to say a good point, actually. So what are your thoughts then on people who say that you're ruining the car and you're going against what the car is, So yours is clearly not the Nova that it was.
No. See, a lot of people say to me that obviously it's an SR and you shouldn't mess about with this. You shouldn't change that. But in my opinion, I want to make it the best it is. Now, to do that, you can't just be having the things that Nova put on them because they're not as good. I'd rather just do the best I can do, the most it will take, and run it like that. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of people want standard Novas. I mean, I went to look at a Mark 1 before SRI before I bought that one.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it. It was a nice car, but just didn't have all the things I wanted out of a Nova. I wanted a Nova Turbo, so I bought one and turned it into a turbo. Because obviously that Courtney Sport one that I showed you last week, that was the car that I wanted when I was 16, 17. So when I come to the age of actually, being able to do one myself, I wanted a turbo.
Yeah,
that's fair. So you had the vision in your head then. You could see in your head what it was going to look like, the wheels, the stance, all that kind of thing. You'd got all that sorted, had you?
Yeah. So basically, I bought it as it was halfway there, but I stripped everything off it and changed everything, and redid the engine and just completely redid the whole lot to how it is now.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's a space for everybody. I think that there are people who want to keep it original, and I completely get that. And I mean, yours is very original, isn't it, Darren? It's it's I imagine it's pretty much as it came up at the factory.
It is really, yeah. There isn't much change on it.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that's different on it is probably the two little like motives that are on the headrest, and it's just like the Jaguar Leapers imprinted on there. But there's no other modifications at all on it.
Yeah. Do you think
it's just how it came out, really?
So do you think it's to do with the type of car as well? Because I imagine that modifying a Jag doesn't feel like a car that would be modified. But I mean, I could be wrong. I don't sort of.
No, I don't suppose it is really. I mean, some people have done the ones where they've kind of kept it. It's still basically the same as it came off the production line. Sometimes they might just change it and put a TWR body kit on it, and then they sort of like put all the logo on it, like the racing type ones you would have had in the day, with the ones that is used for racing. But they're very few and far between. There just seem to be something that gets modified by newer parts, like with aluminium radiators that help the cooling problem. They had that sort of stuff, so probably more mechanical changes really that helped the car, because they, like the early ones until Ford took over, were pretty poorly made, to be honest. And like with bodywork and everything else, they have so many things against them. So then, like you say, they just don't seem something that someone would get and say, "Oh, I want to change that on this and do that on it." I have seen some where they've changed the wheels that are on them, put different sort of wheels on, like and changed the steering wheel and added bits on. But the biggest change they normally do is just they slap a TWR body kit on it,
and
that on one that isn't, and then put the spoiler on the back, things like that, But not much really is to change on them.
Is that a bit like the Lister? Is it a Lister? Is it a Lister, a similar
The
kind
Lister,
of thing?
yeah, they are actually cracking it. A lot of the Listers tend to be done through on the 6-litre one.
Right.
And I've just seen one of those. It's just been done, actually. I think it's in Holland, actually. You get one on the Car Club magazine, comes online. And the chap that he had it's complete rebuild, nut and bolt restoration. And he had the interior done. And he even has Lister embroidered in the leather, in stitching, all down the door cards. It was absolutely stunning. So you can do a bit more to them, and you've got like Guy Salmon, that's another one that's altered. Things have been done to altered slightly, in the shape of them.
I quite like the sort of, I think the term is resto mod. I quite like the idea where, if you don't want to keep it original, but you want to be true to the original looks of it, if you like. I quite like the resto mods where you modify it, but it's tastefully done. It's not like popping down the Halfords and slapping all sorts of bits and bobs on it. I really like this. I think there's a channel I haven't followed much recently, but I think it's called Retro Rides or something like, or whatever. And they've got a workshop and they just restore cars, and they seem to be very sensitive to, they don't just stick a garish body kit on. They'll slightly modify the body, they'll slightly flare the arches, or they'll change the shape of it, and they'll dechrome things, and it's very tastefully done, and it kind of brings the car a bit more up to date, if you like. And like you say,
that's right.
With technology advancing, the paint now is probably better than it's ever been, so you can get a better finish on your paint. The bodywork is probably of a better quality because it's mass produced rather than some bloke paneling it and then it being a different size
Yeah.
to the other side and all that kind of stuff. I just like that, but it's getting the balance right, I think, isn't it? Before it goes over the top and you think you're doing that
Yeah,
now
because
just for the
if
sake
you
of
go
it.
over the top, they look tacky, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. So just getting that balance right and stuff, and just
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
making it look like something that maybe that manufacturer would have done as a special edition kind of thing. You think like, oh yeah, they might have gone for
Yeah, that's
something that looks
pretty.
like
Yeah,
that.
that's a good way of putting it, really. Eh? Yeah, I did that on the centre console of mine, where you've
Mm.
got your little lid that opens up, everyone puts their arm on it, and the interior being in a cream colour, you know what's going to get dirty as quicker than anything. And a lot of it's not dirt; it's just it could be coming off your clothing, it could be anything really on there, and it gets all the wear, and they always look really shabby on that centre console on the leather little lid that goes on it. So when I had all the veneer done in mine, I asked him to make me a piece that went on top of that, and he went, "Oh, I've never done one of that before." I said, "Well, give it a go and then see what it comes up like."
Mm.
So he made me this piece veneer to match the rest of it, and where all the wood comes down, right up to where all your buttons are in your gear lever, and then you've got in the centre console your little sort of cubby little lid there. I took that off. I took it into the back room in the house, put all this padding around it, got the glue, put all this glue over this nice new leather lid that I just had done,
Nice.
and then clamped it all up and said, right, I'll leave it there to come back off my holiday. And when I come back, it was all clamped all the way round. I'm like, oh God, I hope this works. The lid up if it doesn't. And it came off and it's been on there ever since. And when I go out and the people say, oh, I've not seen one like that before. And I thought, no, you won't, because it's just a change that I wanted for myself, you know.
Yeah.
I just thought it was, and it's had loads of comments on it when people have looked at it, and it just makes it run in a line all the way down to where the back of the seats are. And I think it works, you know, 'cause it's not over the top. It's just a small change in it.
Yeah, and it's tastefully done. So maybe somebody like me or Andy who isn't quite so clued up on the Jags just look at it and think it was, oh, oh, that you wouldn't think twice about it because
It's
it
normal.
was you think it was a
No,
factory piece.
that's right, yeah. Because I was a bit surprised at first. I thought, oh, no one's kind of noticing it, and it's not until you go to, say, if we go down to Gaydon, it's one of the XJS meets, and that's all that's there, and then people come and have a look and go, oh, I like that. Where did you have that done? And because they know that it isn't a standard piece in the interior, so it's them that sort of like notice it, you know.
Yeah.
I had anyone come and say, "Oh no, that wasn't on the Jags. That wasn't." You know, you get some of these sort of complete purists, don't you? And I'm not really a believer in that, to be honest.
I think it's just it's having a respect for. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some people do things to cars, and you think, "What the bloody hell have you done that
What are
for?"
you doing there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's completely got it wrong. Yeah,
But I think sometimes you can find a common ground and go. Because I find that car clubs can be quite clicky because I think you've got different people in a car club. You've got those who are purists. It's
definitely.
got to be completely original. You've got those who just go off and they just modify and they're just constantly tweaking it and making it different
Yes.
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I always found it quite interesting that there were some people who just don't really care. They enjoy the car, but
Yeah.
they don't use it like a museum piece. They'll go and do a tip run in it, or they'll go on holiday and they'll tow the caravan in it, and you know,
Yeah.
and they don't wash it very often, and but they still love the car for what
Yeah.
it is really, and
Yeah.
I quite like that in a way because a car is meant to be used and enjoyed in my opinion,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you totally.
and I do love people preserving them and stuff. But I think there's a common ground. There's something for everybody, really, isn't there? And I think it's just regardless of when somebody does something different to you, doesn't mean they're an idiot. Well, even though you might think they are, but you can just sort of go, okay, yeah. I mean, I've said to people before, I go, oh, okay, yeah, that's all right. Not my cup of tea, but I can see why you like it and
Yeah.
appreciate it, you know,
Yeah.
and just having a sort of appreciation for people's ideas and stuff. But yeah, if you get the matte black paint out and a paintbrush and
Yeah.
you're putting body kits and all sorts of stuff on, then
Yeah.
yeah, you just quietly walk away, don't you?
Yeah. Oh,
But yeah, well, it's been nice. We've had a bit of a chat about motors and stuff. I think we're about 50 minutes, gents. So we might want to sort of think about bringing this one to a close?
Yeah, we are just on the 49. Just coming up to 50 minutes now, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, is there anything you chaps want to mention, or any thoughts you want to leave us with? Any pearls of wisdom, any wise words, that kind of stuff? No, there's nothing coming, is there? No, there's no wise words out of you, Per. That's fair enough. That's all right. I was just going to say to anybody that's actually managed to listen to 50 minutes of this, if you do listen to it, please give us a like or a subscribe. And it's not a means of us thinking, oh yeah, we're going to get loads of these, we're going to get money off YouTube, and we're going to buy Andy's E30. It's more of just an encouragement for us, really. It's just to sort of say, yeah, we appreciate you taking the time, lads, to do that. And yeah, you talking crap is actually quite enjoyable. So I mean, even if you
that's right.
It just takes 2 seconds to click it. So if anybody does click it, really appreciate it. And if you can endure this for another week, then click the subscribe button, and drop us an email if you like, if there's something you'd like us to talk about, or like you said before, Darren, if anybody wants to get in touch and join us for a chat one day, and
definitely, I'd like that.
Tell us about their story and whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be really nice. I mean, I get such a lot from having this conversation with you guys. I really do. It's quite therapeutic to.
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
So if anybody else wants to join us for a bit of banter and stuff, that's fine. Yeah, the email address is carsandcancer@gmail.com. It's all in words, so no numbers or anything. And I'll just take it from there. I mean, we've got Christmas coming up, so we'll probably have to get together and work out when we're going to do these calls, because we'll probably want to have a nice little break over Christmas.
Yeah.
We'll see how that one goes, everything. And that's only a couple of weeks away, isn't it?
Oh, God, that's quite scary.
Really,
I might do a little surprise for you both on the last episode before Christmas.
What kind of a surprise, Aid? I don't like surprises.
Okay. No,
you're not wearing that mankini again, are you?
No.
That's all right then. I'll listen in. I don't want no dodgy photographs of that one.
No. Just the usual photos then. Okay.
Okay then.
I was going to just do a little quiz for you both.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd do you a little quiz. Do something a little bit different. I haven't thought of the questions yet.
Keep them simple, Aid. I'm crap at quizzes of any form.
Yeah. Okay.
But remember me like you said, mate, when you ask me something. Can I be ref instead? Can I call out the questions?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll write the questions and you read them out. How about that? Yeah.
Bit of insider dealing, that is, mate.
Absolutely.
No, that's not going to work. That's not.
Oh, wait, he's finally.
It's got to be. Yeah, you write them and I'll read them out.
Yeah.
I'll do like a multiple choice, Darren. So there you go. So there's not too much thinking. You've just got to think A or B. How about that?
Can you do something so I can just tick the boxes?
Do you want colouring by numbers as well? Yeah, I'll tell you what, you can have a phone a friend. How about that?
Yeah, that's what you need. Phone a friend.
Yeah, I might need more than one.
See if they'll help you out.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that then. But yeah, if I can, I'll put something together and so the last episode before Christmas.
Okay then, mate.
We can do something like that. But
As
always, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you both.
Yes, and you.
Have a great weekend. Good luck with the chemo, Andy, and we'll catch up with you next Monday and see how you've got on with that.
Yep, thank you very much.
And
I will let you know.
Yeah. Oh, actually, before I go, how was the tree?
What, cutting the tree?
Yeah, you got the tree removed, didn't you?
No, we cut it all down, Aid. Oh yeah. Wow. He turned up in his JCB Lodal. Mm-hmm. Roman was like over the moon. He sat with Sean whilst he was lifting Dad up to cut all the branches down, and I was telling him which ones to cut off. Looks really good.
Yeah.
Because obviously Roman loves tractors. Tractors or cars.
Yeah.
And he'll talk tractors and cars with you most of the day if you've got a chance to talk to him. But tractors or cars. Yeah. So he's just sitting there on my brother's knee, laughing at my dad on the in the cave with the chainsaw.
Yeah, I bet he loved that.
No, it went really well. Yeah, it went really well.
Oh, good stuff. Oh, that's
Great.
very good to hear. Right, I'm bored now. I'm cutting you off.
Yeah.
As always, have a great one, gents. We'll speak again this time
Yes,
next week.
and you.
And
See you later.
see you later,
Yep.
gents.
See you later, and
Take care. Bye-bye.
bye, Aid. Bye, bye.